Hey, everyone. Blockchain Bernie here, broadcasting live from fabulous Las Vegas. This is my AMA, Ask Me Anything. So let's see. This is using YouTube's chat function here, so you guys can ask me questions live here. So yeah, maybe someone can try type something so that I can check my technology out here and see if we're back into Ask Me Anything. Yeah, but I don't see anyone here, so yeah. So this AMA is mainly about the upcoming pNode launch, right? So we're finally launching our pNodes, the provider nodes. They do the actual heavy lifting. Hi, wonders of the world. The actual heavy lifting of storing the data, and we're going through all of our different eras, and I love the fact that we have this all planned out, right? So the first era is the Deep South era. It only has 2 releases, right? It has the Constance release and the Freiburg release. We're already working on the Freiburg release right now. The Constance release will be the one that you guys will be using first on our Xandeum DevNet, running your pNodes there, being able to register them. And with the Freiburg release, we will be able, apps like, experimental apps that we're doing around the building, they will be able to create their file systems to create the world and where every storage lives in, and they will be able to destroy it again. And, since our commands have like a little bit fancy names, like the peek and poke that you guys already know, creating our universe, creating that file system for one app where everything lives in, we call that command Big Bang. And to destroy it again, we call that Armageddon, right? So we have a little bit of figurative, nice names for our commands. And yeah. And then after that, it's only 2 releases in the Deep South era. And then we have the South era. And that starts with the Munich release. And the Munich release actually is a little bit of a larger release because it has everything. It has all the different commands, like the peek and poke, the paging, and everything will actually work. The pNodes will actually store stuff. So it is a full working prototype of the whole thing, right? So that's going to be really, really awesome. We hope to be there within April, right? So let's see. But Freiburg release will come really, really soon. We have the launch date for the pNodes. It's March 18th for VIPs and March 25th for non-VIPs, right? So we have about 320 people that signed up for the VIP list back in the day. They have a full week of head start, and there's going to be 300 pNodes in total. It's a maximum of 3 pNodes can be purchased per wallet. And we want to have as much diversity, of course, as possible, and as many pNode operators as possible. And yeah, so that's what it's all about. And there are a few, before you guys ask your questions, let me just tell you the few things that kind of the known known bugs here, the known things that we don't know how to tackle them yet. So one is like, if all 300 might be sold out just from the VIP owners alone. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Likely it won't, but I'm not sure, right? We'll see. What do we do then? Well, there need to be some for for the non-VIPs as well. So we might limit it for like 200 for the VIPs, and then have the remaining 100 there, or it might be different numbers. So we still need to figure that out. Can't tell you that yet, but you'll see it in the pNode store, and you'll see it in the emails in our Discord and right here on and on X and everywhere, how the final decision will be. Yeah. Okay, so good. We have a few guys here, so let's see what I have here. Baba Seem, I missed airdrop 1. When airdrop 2 gonna happen? We don't have a date yet, so we absolutely focus on building, at least, launching the pNodes, building the Constants, the Freiburg, and then the Munich release. That's our absolute priority. And that is good for you, because as we're building, we of course expect also the XAND token to gain some value. We had some nice a nice push like about 36 hours ago. XAND token went up like 26%, and it might have a connection to the upcoming pNode launch. Who knows? Markets are sometimes weird. You never know what the reason is. But I assume we can kind of bolster the price of the XAND token significantly with actually shipping software here, right? And that's what it's all about. And I had so many people asking me like, hey, Bernie, you promised that, and the early node owners will have this and that. We need to make this project happen, right? And you guys can help. You can be engaging with our stuff on X, on YouTube, and spread a positive vibe, right? So all engagement, that's like, and it's sometimes human, right? Some people have like, they're unhappy with this and that, and they spread it out in public, and they repeat it like 75 times that this and that is crap. And that doesn't help, right? We want to, because I know we're all excited about this project, and I all keep repeating we have the best community in the world, and we need to let that shine through. That's how we make this project successful, right? Okay, so then maybe it is 1 hour later. No, it was 1 hour later. No, we announced it for 10 a.m. Pacific today, right? Not 9 a.m. It's a little bit out of the ordinary, right? It's a Saturday, not a Sunday, and we're doing it at 10 a.m. So yeah, that is that. We have Raul here. Hi, Raul. Keen to know your opinion about SIMD 228. SIMD 228 is kind of a really, really controversial subject here. My first gut feeling is like, man, that's gonna be bad for stakers. It's gonna be bad for validators. And I didn't like, the tone that Anatoly has tweeted about it. It did not resonate with me, right? But if you really think about it, we need something where the inflation rate adjusts with the staking participation. We need more DeFi participation and all these type of things. So my thought is I will likely vote for it, but I'll give myself a few more thought. I was kind of super busy with developing of the Xandeum software here and our releases and the pNode launch. So I didn't have too much time to think so much about 228. I will vote against 123 though, SIMD 123. I don't think we need that. We need kind of block reward sharing in the base protocol, because we can do it in liquid staking. And the Xandeum liquid staking and the XanSol also quite successful recently. We're constantly growing, slowly but constantly growing. Likely have already past the 33,000 Sol level as of now. I'm not sure. So let's have a look at that. And so that's happening there also. Let me just see. Yeah, it's 32,932. So we will be passing the 33,000 threshold really soon and still have the best APY everywhere. So I love that one. So as with, that was the question about SIMD 228. When airdrop 2, we don't know yet. I understand that question. There will be an airdrop 2, but likely together with the Munich release, right? Like in April-ish. We never know. Maybe, you know, whenever the Munich release is ready, that's gonna be a big, big, big milestone for us. It's gonna be huge, right? Because it's a full working prototype of the whole solution, and that'd be a good time to kind of connect the airdrop 2 with. Can you explain the connection with the pNodes and staking, or which 3 points are essential for the operation of a pNode? That's a great question, wonders of the world. And I made the, you know, and this is all changing with the eras that we're going through, right? In the Deep South era, when we start those pNodes, it is different, right? But what I give you now is the end vision, right? It should be there by the mine era, right? By the Frankfurt release. Then we should have that end vision. And here's the end vision, right? So there are 3 factors that determine the total rewards of a pNode and on mainnet, right? I'm talking on mainnet. What we're doing right now with the pNode launch is the pNodes in DevNet. So you also need to understand that. 2 different worlds, right? DevNet, and the DevNet might transition into an incentivized testnet at some point in time. So that's one world, right? But I'm talking about the real world, the mainnet, when we launch it on mainnet. And we will do that with the launch of the Wikipedia alternative that we're building in the main era or mine era. And so again, that means the end vision on mainnet, the pNodes, yeah, in Xandeum mainnet for the end vision, they will be earning dependent on 3 factors, right? The amount of space provided, the amount of storage space, that's absolutely clear. If you provide 10 terabytes, you earn 10 times as much as someone that provides 1 terabyte. All other things equal, right? So the more storage you provide, the more you earn, right? The second is the performance score, right? The performance score goes hand in hand with the reputation score, right? So how that performance and reputation score is going to be calculated, we don't know yet. It's on the roadmap, right? We're going to have fee markets at some point in time. We're going to have performance monitoring at some point in time, and that's when we figure that out. So never forget that. We're not talking about something that's already there, and you can ask all sorts of detailed questions, and we already have the answers. It's not like that. We're building it, and we're building it in public. We're building it with you and with your support. So that's the awesome thing about this project, right? So we have these 3 factors: storage space provided, and then performance/reputation score, right? And how that score is being calculated, it might be changing all the time. It's the same with credit scores here in the US, right? It changes every 2 weeks. There is a different algorithm on how your credit score is being calculated, right? And with that performance and reputation score, it's going to be the same. We need to be sure that we reward the people that behave well, run reliable nodes, have no history of trying to cheat or anything, and all these things, right? So all that will flow into that performance score or reputation score, and it'll develop over time, right? But that's the second thing, right? So we have the amount of space provided, we have the performance and reputation score, and then the third thing is the stake that other users delegate to you. And that's where it becomes a little bit tricky, because right now staking your XAND tokens goes with the DAO, right? And you can earn high APY on your XAND tokens if you stake it to the DAO. But here's the thing, at some point, we need to have these XAND tokens being staked to pNodes, right? So you don't stake it to our DAO anymore. You will, in the future, at some future release, stake it to pNodes. And then there is a big problem, because somehow we also want these guys to be able to vote in the DAO, right? We don't want, like, oh, you stake it to a pNode, then you don't have your XAND tokens in the DAO anymore and you can't vote anymore. That would be crazy. We want and need that vote participation in the Xandeum DAO as well. So we just will figure that out, and that's a big, unknown as of now. I just can't give you the answer. But we want both, and we will find a solution to do both, and it might be a little bit of an effort on our end, right? But we want both. We want voting in the DAO. Not sure if we can stick with Realms then. Realms is that software that's mostly used on Solana for DAOs, and it's a little bit difficult to do both staking and voting and everything at the same time. It already feels a little bit not 100% integrated with what we're doing right now. And we need XAND staking for those pNodes, because those pNodes need to have to lose something, right? So if they don't perform, or they just stop working, or they try to cheat or alter the data, or try to use just one drive even though they say they have 5 or something like that, right? Then they need to have something to lose. So that concept of staking, if we don't have proof of work, right, we need to have proof of stake, and all the modern blockchains have that. And the pNodes offer storage blockchain grade, right? In order for that to be blockchain grade and tamper proof and censorship resistant and all that kind of stuff, we need people to stake their XAND tokens to specific pNodes, right? The same way it happens on any proof of stake blockchain and smart contract chain like Solana, like Ethereum, like Cardano, you name it, all the others, right? So it will be like that in the future. Yeah, I don't know when, sometime around mid-year. It will be that your mainnet pNode, and you will be, if you participate in the DevNet with the pNode, you have that head start. People know you already, right? People see your names in all those discords on X when you talk about pNodes, and you can educate them. And if you contribute to the ecosystem in some way, doing some great documentations, maybe doing your own videos, or just have an X channel where you explain everything and you just show off your competency on running these pNodes, people will start staking with you naturally, and there won't be that many in the beginning, right? So that's how you can put yourself in a position like the early participants in the Solana network that now have 4 million SOL in stake. And I know so many of these personally, and I've talked to them face to face on different Solana events, right? That are now making 7 figures in hard US dollars each and every month, just by having those 4 million SOL in stake. So that is the opportunity that is presenting itself here, and no financial advice. And it also doesn't depend on Xandeum in any way. It depends on you, on running your validator, providing that, running your pNode, providing that storage, having that good reputation score, and marketing yourself as a good pNode operator so that you can get that stake early on. But for now, no stake for the pNodes. We're starting in the DevNet with the DevNet pNodes only. In the DevNet pNodes, rewards won't even be proportional to the amount of storage provided. It will just be one pNode. It has to meet a minimum performance requirement, just being online. And and it's not dependent on stake in the beginning. And then we will move through the eras, the math behind how much rewards will there be for the DevNet nodes. It might change, and at some point, we transition from the DevNet into the testnet. And then if we have like, say, 100,000 pNodes in mainnet, we also need to have 100,000 pNodes in testnet, just to be able to do performance tests and all these type of things when we do new releases. So your DevNet nodes might just transition into testnet nodes and these things. But the real thing is, you want to gain experience with this. You want to make yourself a name for when we go on mainnet. And as I mentioned, mainnet will be there sooner than we think, because we're going to be launching that Wikipedia alternative as soon as we can on an MVP, minimum viable product, around the middle of this year. Okay, that was a long answer to a question here. So, pNodes and staking, yeah, and the three nodes. I hope that answers your questions, wonders of the world. Then we have a Dero, hi Bernie, a Roderick. For those with stranded XAND, what options are available to safely participate? Well, we're doing another XAND upgrade window. It should have actually started yesterday, but I needed, honestly, we were busy with some other stuff, so I need to talk to my devs if it's really open. But it should be open by Monday to the latest, and then you have like 1.5 weeks or so to upgrade your XAND to XAND 1-for-1, and you won't be disadvantaged against the ones that already converted their XAND back in October, right? So you will already have around like 68 or 70% of your new XAND token already unlocked, and then the rest will vest over these, what is it, like 9 months or so that we have that are still open out of that original 12 months period, right? So watch out for that XAND upgrade window. We will have one right now, so that you can convert your XAND to XAND before the upgrade window. How do we get the XAND? XAND is Xandeum Classic, so that's a thing of the past. There's no way to get XAND anymore. It's just people that did participate back in the day in the old chain. They have XAND, and they will all convert it into XAND. So XAND has no significance anymore these days. That's all about the XAND token. Cornell, how many pNodes can one wallet buy? We scaled it down to 3. We had a discussion on Discord, so thanks everyone for being so engaged on Discord and on X and everywhere. I would love to have more of these discussions also going on X, right? So if you really have any questions, ask me on X and on Xandeum. So on X with the Blockchain Bernie account on X, and also the Xandeum network account on X. So, and it used to be 10 per wallet. We scaled it down to 3 per wallet now, right? There's no point in having so many Sibyls. We want to have as many, really different persons or companies for what it's worth to run all these pNodes. So we're limiting it to 3 per wallet. Then we have MEXC here. How can new users go ahead with the pNodes process? So we will announce that on everywhere. On this, you need to be on Discord, you need to be on X and follow us and just follow all the updates. And then within the next few days, we will open the pNode store. I already gave you a sneak peek into the pNode store in my videos right here on YouTube. And yeah, all you need is get these XAND tokens, 35,000 XAND per pNode, which is less than $100. Hope it's still less than $100, even though the XAND token went up a little bit since I announced that. And yeah, you need those 35,000 ZAND. You can buy them on Jupiter. You can buy them on MEXC if you prefer that, which is a centralized exchange. Or just go to Jupiter and swap your Sol or swap your USDC for ZAND. And then you need to have that in your wallet. You always need to have a little bit of Sol in your wallet just to pay for the transaction fees. And then come to our pNode store. There's no link yet, so you need to be updated. Stay up to date here and follow us everywhere. And then there will be a link. There will be a date and time on March 18th when everything's starting. And yeah, then you can go ahead with the pNode sales. And we're going to have the docs up and running as well, probably even earlier. The docs are kind of quite good. And then you need to have a computer, right? And Ubuntu computer that has like at least 100 gigabytes of storage. You need to dedicate at least 64 gigabytes to the Xandeum network, and then you need some more for your operating system and stuff. So let's say like you need like 100 gigabytes at least, and you need to have at least I think 2 gigs of RAM or such. It's all the requirements are laid out in the documentation. And we found providers that do it in a data center, in a virtual private server, for just $5.50 a month, right? So we just recommend going with these, and it's all set out in the docs that are going online really, really soon. So, Hindero, would we still have the opportunity to swap from ZAND to ZANC? Yeah, I answered that already. We'll have the window, the ZANC upgrade window open as we speak. And then Wonders of the World, it would be important to know how I can influence the 3 factors for the run of the pNode. Well, how much storage you provide, it's easy how you can influence that, right? You know, buy more drives and put them into your pNode, or, you know, buy a larger a VPS that has more storage. So that's easy. And the performance score, yeah, you know, have your node run 24/7, right? Don't run it on an internet connection in your home when that is bad, because home internet connections usually become bad on Saturday evenings when everyone's watching movies, and then suddenly your internet goes slow. That will hit your performance score, right? And you know, don't try to cheat. Always upgrade to the latest version. Have a good reaction time. Upgrade to the latest version within 24 hours or something. That all gives you extra performance points, right? And then the stake that you have, I also mentioned that, how you can influence that, right? Make yourself known, right? Be someone on Discord and on X, because, you know, other people will see it. They will stake their ZAND with you then, because they know you and they know you're running a performant pNode. So, and you know, in the beginning, with the community being so slow, it's so easy to make yourself a name. Try making yourself a name now on Solana. It is crazy, right? Because there's lots of competition and people that already have millions of Sol in stake. And yeah, that's how you influence those 3 factors. So it's really you who influences that. And yeah. You know, if you keep complaining about how bad Xandeum is in public, nobody will stake with you, right? So that's how it is. All right. Steve, can I meet you in Dubai at token 2049? You know, likely no. I was traveling a bit here. I was excited about Mountain DAO in Salt Lake City, so I went up there, stayed there for like 3 weeks, but it wasn't as great as I thought. And 2025 is the year of building for Xandeum. And that is like the super most important thing. And it is also important to make connections and be there and everything. But, you know, it takes so much time and so much effort and everything. That's probably better spent right now to go through all these eras here, right? So yeah, as much as I would have loved to meet you, Steve, I don't think it's gonna happen in Dubai. There's that Solana Accelerate thing in New York happening in May. I'm a little bit contemplating there because it's specifically for builders on Solana. It might be a great idea, but also I'm not sure yet because I really need to focus on making our vision a reality here, right? And this year is the year of making Xandeum a reality. So likely no story, but if you want to meet me or something, we can schedule a Zoom call or Google Meet call anytime. Okay, wonders of the world. So I become visible as the operator of a pNode on a platform, and the assignment of the staking is automatic. No wonders of the world. I said it now 3 times, right? There is no a platform, right? There is Discord, there is X, where everyone hangs out. That's interested in the Xandeum project. And no, it's not automatic. Everyone decides by themselves where they stake their Xand. That's how the world works, and that's how Solana works, and that's how Ethereum works, and that's how everything works. Okay. So Roderick, can I swap XAND from one wallet and then convert to Xand and save in a different wallet? In Solana, once you have tokens in one wallet, you can always transfer them to any other wallet, right? It's called a transfer. So yes, can do that. Then in an upcoming project, no need to complain. Okay. Then wonders of the world, it is simply difficult to imagine people staking out their own pNodes, Xand, but time will tell. Yeah, so of course, other pNode operators, they might not stake to you. They stake it to their own pNode, right? That's what's happening with Solana validators also. Everyone who runs a validator stakes all their SOL to their own validator. But, there's other people that that don't run a pNode, right? Or they only run a small pNode, and then the large pNode might just earn them way more staking rewards, so they stake it with the larger one. It might also be that the Xandeum Foundation will just offer stake to pNodes, right? That's how it works with Solana as well, right? There's Solana Foundation, and they offer stake to validators up to 130,000 SOL. Can you believe that? 130,000 SOL, that is like what, over 10 million, 15 million, $20 million, right? You get it just like that, boom, from Solana Foundation, right? And we have the Xandeum Foundation. They might give you stake, according to criteria. And, the Solana Foundation has criteria on why they give you stake and for what, and they keep changing it, right? There's nothing like, this is the rules, and, 5 years later, you come back and say, you said these were the rules. No, rules are always changing, right? But they are reasonable, right? You can trust that the Solana Foundation, as well as the Xandeum Foundation, wants to further the goals of the Xandeum network, right? There will not be like, okay, Xandeum Foundation is staking to this guy because he has a cool hairstyle, right? No, they will be staking what gives the maximum value to the ecosystem, right? So you might expect stakes, even high stake in the beginning, most of the stake from the Xandeum Foundation, but there are a lot of guys that have a lot of Xand, right? Not even insiders, just people that bought a lot of nodes back in the day, and they just, they just have millions and millions of Xand. And they might not even run a pNode, right? They might be kind of more the investor type of guy, and they might spread their Xand to a set of pNode operators. That's how it works, right? Look into other projects. Look how it was, and ask like Grok 3 or whatever your favorite LLM is. Ask them how the history was. How was the history with early Solana, with early Cardano, with early Aptos, early Sui, and all these type of things. Figure that out. It's like, if you're there in the early days, Nobody will. It will be very, very hard for newcomers to to surpass you, and it's never as easy as in the beginning to convince people to stake with you. And it could be just other people. It could be newcomers that want to buy XAND on an exchange but don't want to run a pNode, and then they want to earn yield on their XAND, so they want to stake it to some pNodes, right? And if you're there there is not a platform, right? It's just you're there on X, on Discord, on, I don't know, wherever you are. You have a cool website that people find when they Google for stake XAND tokens. Your website might show up. That's called search engine optimization. And you might feel like that's your path. So you become good on SEO, search engine optimization. People find you on Google and then stake their XAND with you, right? So that's how it works. But, I can just tell you, if you wait a year, it's going to be tough. Just try chatting with all these AIs, how it worked on all the other blockchains, right? I can only tell you that's how it is. Okay. That was that question. Difficult to imagine people staking out their own pNodes, XAND. And then Cornell on DevNet, can we run? Cornell, I see you a lot, by the way. So thank you for all of your engagement. And that's awesome. And if you keep doing that, people will naturally stake with your pNode if you want to run one, right? So on DevNet, can we run the pNode on the same machine where we run the validator? That's a very good question. Yeah, you probably can, but I haven't thought till the end if that is something that we want in the long run. But yeah, I think you can, but we don't have docs for that, right? So you need to figure out how do you run those two and they won't interfere with each other and stuff like that. You need to figure out the security and all these things. Yeah, so we don't provide support with that, right? So because many things might go wrong and you need to figure it out yourself, right? Again, running your nodes is your business. It's not ours, right? It's not Xandeum's or Xandeum Foundation's. So your rewards will be proportional to the fruits of your own work, right? And I probably wouldn't recommend it to run both on the same machine, and it might be even prohibited at a later point in time for some reason. But I don't know. Maybe it's fine with us. But again, I wouldn't really recommend it. So then we have Bikramjit. Will the launch of pNode be after airdrop? Now, we already had the airdrop one, right? And the launch of the pNode is coming now. And then at some point later, when we launch the Munich release, hopefully second half of April or something, but you never know. It might be May or so. Then we launch the Munich release, and then immediately after the Munich release, it's going to be a great point in time for the airdrop too. Then Cornell again, is the pNode running on DevNet incentivized? Yes, it's incentivized. So there will be some amount of XAND per month that will be paid out just per pNode. It's going to be locked XAND, 12 months locked XAND, as we had it before with the DevNet validator node. So it's for the first few releases, it's going to be very similar to the validators, right? There will be that incentivization, and yeah, we need to communicate that. We need to decide on an amount there and communicate it out. Yeah, the reward will be to obviously pay for your instance, right? If it's like $5.50 a month, and you operate all this thing, of course you should be above this hosting cost, and hopefully somewhat more, right? Yeah, and but I think the real reward is, again, putting you in that pole position for mainnet, right? That's what it's all about, right? It's not like you buy a pNode to get these few bucks a month on the incentivized DevNet or something. You know, if you really want and you're like a tech enthusiast or so, yeah, that could be the reason. But the real reason is you want to have that pole position in mainnet. And as I mentioned, we're launching into mainnet sooner than we originally thought. That I think is great news in itself, and I'm excited about it. And, you know, bringing that Wikipedia alternative or that guessing game that we talked about, and that's described in the green paper. So for all of you that haven't read our green paper yet, go to greenpaper.xandeum.network and read up on that one. So Bikramjit, I hope I pronounced that correctly. If we use VPS, can I use my spare 1 terabyte hard drive? If you use the VPS, you use the storage of the VPS, right? So the one that we found out is with a company called Contabo. As far as I know, they're headquartered out of Munich, Germany. So that would be a nice coincidence with the Munich release. They offer that instance for $5.50 a month. And they have either one, what is that? No, they either have 100 gigabytes of NVMe, or they have 400 gigabytes of normal SATA SSD. So we recommend the 400 gigabyte configuration. That way you can provide more storage to the network. And yeah, if you use the VPS, it will be the VPS's storage that you dedicate, right? If you want to use your drive that you have at home, well, then it would have to be a home computer that you use for that. And then the critical factor might be the internet connection. In DevNet, that will be fine. If you have like a nice internet at home and you have like at least 2-3 megabits per second in upload speed and even faster download speed, you should be fine. But yeah, if your home internet like is offline for an hour or so, which happens often, right? Then you might lose out on some rewards and stuff like that. And in the end, you know, we want to have a reliable and fast storage layer, right? So we would all need to have a very good internet connection, and data centers are doing great on that, right? They have like, you know, diesel power generators, and they have several redundant internet connections and all these type of things, right? So normally you can't beat them. And since we don't need like huge amounts of RAM in our pNodes or huge amounts of CPU, as it is with Solana validator nodes, they need lots of RAM and they need lots of CPU, so they are super, super expensive. With the pNodes, all we need is some storage and a great internet connection, right? So it is way, way cheaper, and you can run them from home. But probably if I would run it from home, I mean, for DevNet, it doesn't really matter, right? But once you're in mainnet, you know, it's your business somehow, right? I would then at least have 2 internet providers at home, as I have. I have Cox via cable here, and I also have Starlink up here, actually, on my roof here. So I have a backup, right? Okay. Would you upgrade from Web 3 to Web 5? Yeah, that's a great question. I haven't heard of Web 5. Maybe it's a hoax question. Maybe it's a serious question. I don't know. I just don't happen to have heard of Web 5. Then Michael, hey Bernie, is it possible to transfer a pNode to a different wallet of the same or another person? To transfer a pNode to a different wallet. So you mean you buy a pNode and then I don't think so in the way that we've programmed it now. So you have one wallet, which is the manager wallet of the the manager wallet of those pNodes, right? And one manager wallet that pays the XAND fees that are necessary for that, it can manage up to 3 pNodes as of now, at least. And yeah, and that is the manager wallet, right? So transfer, yeah, what is transfer actually, right? So you can always close your pNode, right? You get any stake that is there, you will then get that back, and you will get your whatever the storage fees on Solana. You will get them back a little bit, and then you can use your manager wallet and create a new pNode, something like that. But I don't know. I haven't thought about these details. And honestly, you know, things are complicated on a technical basis. Every little feature that you feel, oh, it's just a little feature, it's going to set us back for weeks and weeks with building the storage layer, right? So I don't see that really as a priority, or are you? I don't know. I mean, it's like you have your wallet, you buy up to 3 pNodes, and that's it for now. And we go through all these errors here. So yeah. Then Bikramjit again, will it be dev to mainnet directly, or will there be a testnet in between? So most likely we'll have that devnet, and then we'll go to mainnet straight at some point, as early as we can in, I believe, the mine era, when we're going to be, when we have that MVP, and we'll be able to support early dApps on mainnet, right? So that will go very fast. So we will go from DevNet to mainnet directly. At least that's the current plan, right? I mean, don't tell me like, I have so many people, Bernie, you said this like 7 months ago, right? Things change, guys, right? If you ask me questions, I can only give you the opinion and the thoughts that I have right now. So don't kill me if things change, right? But we're thinking of going to mainnet directly in the mine era, and supporting our own apps, and hopefully even other apps. If one of you guys have ideas on what you want to build as a decentralized app that uses a storage layer, you know, you can go live on mainnet, you know, in our mine era, in, you know, the middle of the year, in the summer, early summer, I hope. So and then the testnet, probably after that, the mainnet, the devnet will kind of morph into a testnet. So we need to have more and more nodes on testnet, and the same number of nodes that we have on mainnet. But that all depends on, you know, what will be the storage demand on mainnet actually, and how many pNodes do we need. It's all a supply and demand, market driven economy, and you know, there's no way I can make any announcements here like, you know, the XAND price is going to be this in 6 months, or we need you know, so many devnet nodes in 7 months. It all depends on the adoption, right? How many developers will there be that actually build their apps on Xandeum, and are these successful developers, right? Will they really get users onto their decentralized apps? That's the key factor, right? But if that happens, you know, it can explode really, really quick. Then in a short period of time, we need tons of new pNodes in order to cater to that exploding demand. And then we also need these number of nodes in our testnet, right? So at some point, like late summer or something, probably the devnet will just be renamed to testnet. So if you have bought a devnet node, that will automatically grandfather you in to run it on testnet. The testnet is usually even more incentivized, right? Because the testnet, we have to rely on the testnet to have as many nodes as we have in mainnet. We need to rely on the testnet to be super quick to be updated to any new versions. We have to rely on the testnet to be just as performant as the mainnet. It's kind of a reference environment where if we have new versions, we want to test them on a testnet that's as close as possible to mainnet circumstances, right? So yeah, that's likely how it's gonna play out. Mainnet quite early, in addition to DevNet. Then we have DevNet, and then we have DevNet and mainnet running in parallel. And then after that, the DevNet will kind of morph into a testnet, and then likely there will be a new DevNet, which will just be like 10 nodes or so, operated by a few other guys, and maybe some of them by Xandeum Foundation, operated by Xandeum Foundation themselves, and providing that DevNet. So then it will be like similar to what we see right now on Solana, right? The DevNet is just 10 nodes or so, and the testnet has the same number of nodes as we have on mainnet, right? And what you do now in DevNet, when you start running a pNode on DevNet, it'll automatically transition over to testnet, right? Okay. Okay, testnet between Wonders of the World already answered that. And Bikramjit, all right, I love that name. Was absolutely spot on. But you can call me Bikram also, all right. Michael, so every release in a new era means to update our administrative tasks for a storage provider or pNode owner. Yeah, probably there will be minor releases even in between that, right? So we have like Constance, Freiburg, and Munich. Those are kind of larger milestones. In between that, there might be many more releases, right? And on DevNet, you don't need to do each and every upgrade because we have also a trinet. A trinet is 3 validator nodes and then maybe like 10 or 20 pNodes. And we operate that on our own. We can control it completely. And probably there we do like many software updates per day even, right? Or at least many per week. And we don't want to do that with the DevNet operators, right? So we have our own trinet that we use in development. And then at some point, once we have it, somewhat stable, we put it into the DevNet. But it's not like those are the only releases, right? There's not like Constance and then Freiburg and then Munich, right? After Freiburg, there might be 3 or 4 intermediate releases or 5 or 6 before we come to Munich, because Munich is quite a major milestone. It's the complete working prototype. So yeah, that's how it works. And we don't know yet how often we want software updates from you. We recently updated the validator software. That's the basis on DevNet for the pNode software. And this all needs to be compatible with each other, right? So we have the DevNet validators. They are running on 2.1.4 now. They need to update to 2.2.0, which we just released or are about to release, right? To be compatible with the pNode software, right? So these all need to work together, and yeah. Will we get a step-by-step how-to description like we had in the past? Yeah, obviously. Those are the docs. They're ready. We just need to publish them. And then Bikram again, can we use Ledger Wallet to buy the pNodes? Yes, you can. We need to test that. That's a good point. But of course you can. But if not, just transfer them, the 35,000 Xan out of your ledger, transfer it to some other wallet and use that one, right? Because you can use any wallet because yeah, the VIP thing is tied to your email address, not to a wallet address. So as long as you enter your code, the VIP code that will be emailed out, you can use any wallet to buy that, right? So I'd probably just transfer it out of the Ledger wallet and then buy it with a hot wallet. It's just easier, right? And 35,000 ZAND is not an amount that you need to have high security for. Okay. Next one, quote. What is that? Quotation for life. Please make a video about withdrawal process. Okay, what withdrawal process do you mean there? Yeah, so it seems like we have quite a number of concurrent users here now, also on X, and we got a little bit confused. I actually wanted to do this AMA as an X Spaces so that it's just more interactive and we can hear your guys' voice and stuff like that. Somehow my team misunderstood me, so now it's a YouTube here. Which is fine as well, and it's streaming in parallel. So I have that new software here that streams it in parallel at the same time to both YouTube and X, right? So you don't have to watch on YouTube; you can watch it on X directly. Right now, as I see it here, we even have more parallel watchers on X than we have on YouTube, which is nice. And yeah, this was my AMA, and the thing is, I might do an X Spaces as well at some point next week. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. Let's announce it, and let's have an X Space, because I'd love to hear your voices and really discuss things with you. Right? This is not so interactive here with the chat, right? So. And I don't think the guys watching on X right now, they actually see the questions that are being typed on YouTube, but I'm reading them for that purpose, right? I'm not even sure if people are asking questions on X right now via DMs or something. Maybe you can look into it. And yeah, so Wonders of the World, thank you, Bernie. Bikram. Also, can we move the pNodes running in local machines to VPS, or will we have to buy a separate one if we want to transfer the node? Yeah, again, also, I don't know. That's a good point. A good thing to think about. Yeah, I don't know. It would be nice if you could do that, but it might be tough to put it all into software here on our end. So, oh yeah, by the way, look at that. If you, for the ones that are listening on X right now, you can just send me a DM, and then it'll appear. Is it a chat? Okay, there's a chat in X. Is it? Okay. So when you watch this live video on X, there's a chat function there. So, and that will show up here on my monitor here as merged, right? So I see both when people ask questions on YouTube, but I will also see if someone's chatting me up on X. So that's good to know for the future. Yeah, but I think for now it was an hour. It was fun. Thanks for all the engagement. And yeah, catch you guys later. And let me know if that would be cool to have an X Spaces where, you know, I can actually pull you guys. I mean, you can request the mic. You can request to be a speaker. And then I can approve that. And then we can just talk, right? And talk things through. That makes it sometimes so much easier, right? I'll just see a quick question and then have a long answer. And then sometimes people just say like, oh, I meant it this and that way. So, yeah, that's how it works. For today though, don't forget to smash that like button because it helps the YouTube algorithm so much. And leave me a comment. Use the chat function on X as well. Leave us some comments on this video, some replies on this video on X, and all of these things will give you points on points.xandeum.network. But for today, I'm really excited about all this engagement as always, and I think it was great having done that. I feel like there's a few questions that are really, really important. I understand you're asking these questions, but where I just didn't have an answer for, we'll look into that. But bear with me if we don't focus that much on these type of things. We really, really focus on building the actual storage layer, getting that release out, and getting the Mayor, thank you. Yeah, it works on X. Awesome, awesome. So we'll advertise that next time also. And we really, really want to focus on building that storage layer and not so much on side functionality. If someone has bought and then they want to move it there and they want to use another wallet, it's like, yeah, I understand all that, and it would be so cool, but it's just we need to focus, and it sounds so easy, but it's often so difficult to implement, and it's like a special case for like two people that actually want that. So bear with me. If it's easy in some points, we'll take all your input that we got today, and are building that. But we can't do it we can't do it in any case. Yeah, it's expensive. That's correct. So yeah, I'm in talking mood right now. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask it. But otherwise, I think this has been over an hour. It's been a great session. Thanks again. Don't forget to smash that like button. Here we go, and catch you guys next time. Bye.